What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do another VR video, and my apologies in advance if I cry because some of these questions are kind of deep, I think. So today's VR is called You in the Tarot, and it is by AardeKracht Earth Powers channel, and I will link their video or their channel in the description down below. So I believe this is like a tarot spread because there's 5 questions. And how you're supposed to do it is you would pick out the cards per the question on what you feel would be the answer. And then you'd pick another deck and then shuffle and ask the tarot or spirit to see what the actual answer might be. So this is going to be kind of interesting, especially if we end up getting the same thing. I'm curious. So the first question is how society sees you. And I pulled out, oh, by the way, let me show you the decks I'm using. So I'm using my tarot deck, the Iris Tarot, for my replies. So I picked out the cards from the deck towards what I think the answer would be. And then the deck that I'm using to shuffle and see what we get is the Weaver Tarot, the Ascendant Edition. This is copy 2 or print 2, so the hollow, it pops more. All right, where were we? So how society sees you. I picked the High Priestess. Why I picked the High Priestess? Now this question for me was kind of, I wouldn't say confusing, but when I thought of society, I thought of the people who tend to have judged me without knowing me. Like, you know, because for the most part, society doesn't really know you. They go by what they see and then they just go from there. Okay, well, let me explain to you what I see as the High Priestess, how me and the High Priestess connect. So with the High Priestess, it's gonna sound funny, but resting bitch face, right? I have that, and I feel like that's something that would be very misjudged, and it has been my whole life. It's a particular look that you have, even just your eyes. Like your eyes might be piercing, and I feel like with the High Priestess, she tends to throw people off just by how she looks. Like I said, with resting bitch face. Some people might think that you're this person or very mean or very off-putting, but then those who actually look past that and get to know you see that that's totally wrong. Long story short, I feel like society would see me as somebody with resting bitch face, somebody who at times might look mysterious because of the fact that they might be afraid to approach me. They don't know anything about me, but they kind of want to, but then they don't because they're afraid. Because they think I'll be mean. So I don't know, it depends, because I feel like with society in general, there's one part that, like you guys who are probably watching this video, there's that one part who actually wants to get to know you, but then there's the other part, which unfortunately is usually the bigger part, that thinks they know you but doesn't actually want to get to know you, and they just end up being very judgmental. And I feel like that's what I get from the High Priestess, especially because there's 2 parts. There's a dark part, there's a light part, right? There's more to me than just what you see, just as what I see the High Priestess. Hopefully that makes sense, but that is my reply to question 1, how society sees me, and I picked the High Priestess. Now we're gonna ask our deck. I'm gonna try to pick poppers, flippers, or jumpers, but sometimes it takes forever to get one of those when you're shuffling. So we'll see, whatever just feels right, I'm just gonna go with it. How does society see me? All right, so this is what I call a popper. So this one is popping out. What is this? This is the 9 of Cups. Really? Well, that's a good thing to me, because that's telling me that it's kind of turning, where at first I had mentioned that I feel like there's more of society that sees me in a negative light, but now with this 9 of Cups, here I was blocking the title, with this 9 of Cups coming out, it's telling me that it's flipping, so that society is starting to see me in a different, better light, if that makes sense. Or there's more of those that see me in a better light than those who didn't, back in the day. Possibly also somebody who likes to, I was gonna say party. No, I do like to dance though. So I guess society is starting to see me as somebody that's very open and can be fun to be around, I guess. I mean, it depends. I am an introverted extrovert, if that makes sense. So if I'm around the right people, I can be myself and I can be fun, quote unquote. Well, that's good though. I like that we got the Knight of Cups. Totally different from what I thought, obviously, or the route that I was going to. So question number 2 is how your family sees you. And I got 2 cards for this. So I pulled out the Fool and the 6 of Cups. Now, why I think my family sees me this way is because I'm a very carefree person. Most people might take that the wrong way. Like, I feel like some of my family members think that the way I am when it comes to certain, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, my personality is very free or childlike. I'm very playful. I'm very silly. Like, I feel like they might take my way of thinking as naive, but they also forget, like, yeah, I might be very playful and like childish in a good way when it comes to a lot of things, but I know when to be serious. But also a part of me is like, I don't take life totally seriously, and I think that's what irritates my family at times. But I also think that that's why they see me that way. They see me as the fool, like, oh, you're too carefree, you don't know what you're talking about. And I can see them getting annoyed because of how I am sometimes, but because they see that and they're not as open-minded, they don't understand, like, yeah, you might see me as the fool, but that doesn't mean that I don't know when to be serious. That doesn't mean that I don't know when to be an adult or whatever you want to call it. With the 6 of Cups, I'm relating it back to childhood, innocence, that kind of frame of mind thing where you're just silly, you're happy, you see things differently, which can also tie it into where people think, in this case for my family, might think that I'm naive with a lot of things, when I'm really not. I just don't care as much as most people do, because it sucks when people take things too seriously. I feel like people who, like old people who are very bitter, are probably the ones who took life too seriously and they needed more full energy in their life. But that's how I feel that my family sees me. They see me as somebody who's very open, who's probably too open, to the point where it might be like naive, like, oh, you should know better, but in reality I do. I just don't give a shit like most people, because it's kind of sad to just be serious all the time. That's just how I am though. So that was my reply for how my family sees me, but let's ask the tarot. Kind of nervous. How does my family see me? Ooh. Okay, well that card flipped. Hopefully you guys saw it. Oh, well, this one's kind of sad. We have the 5 of Cups. Well, I can see how some of them could see me that way because of what I've been through. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to go into detail, but if you guys know what the 5 of Cups can symbolize, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I can see why they would see me like this. Like I said, because of what I've been through. And the fact that, like, holy shit, you're still here. Yeah. In a good way, obviously in a good way. But, alright. You know what? I kind of want to get another card just because I picked 2 cards. Just to make it fair, you know? I feel like this question is hard because I've been shuffling one fell out, for so long. And I guess it's just hard to depict how my family sees me. Well, how I think my family sees me and how they actually see me. So this card came out. This is the Ruler of Coins, which I believe ruler in this deck is the Kings. So this is the King of Coins, or the King of Pentacles. So we got I got the 5 of Cups and the Ruler of Coins, which is the King of Pentacles, on how my family sees me. So even though they're aware of the shit that I've been through, they still see me as a very grounded, cool, calm, collected person. Like, I'm still me, if that makes sense. Which is good. That's a good thing. It shows how strong I am too, I guess. These cards are so pretty. All right, I don't want to go too into detail with this question, so we're just gonna leave it at that. The third question is how your friends see you. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am an introverted extrovert, so my friend group is very, 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 very tiny. Probably non-existent, but very tiny. But those who do know me, like who actually know me, this is what I picked out. So I have 3 cards for this one. How your friends see you. So these are the ones that I picked. So I have the Hermit. Like I said, introverted extrovert. I pretty much keep to myself. I'm not as chatty unless, I don't know, I'm like one of those people who I don't want to approach you because I don't want to bother you, or I think I'm gonna bother you, so I just don't. But if you approach me, I'll freaking talk your ear off or whatever. Well, it depends on what we're talking about, but yeah. So I pulled the Hermit because I do tend to just keep to myself, do my own thing. I am happy with my alone time. I mean, that does get lonely, obviously, but I am happy with my alone time. Like, I like keeping to myself. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's why I get the Hermit. And then I also got the 8 of Pentacles. With the 8 of Pentacles, I do see that my friends do notice that I am, you know, a hard worker when it comes to working on things that I like to do, especially, you know, things like my YouTube or things like with my art. Like one thing was creating the stack. They see that I'm a hard worker when it comes to stuff that I'm passionate about. And then the last card I got was the Empress. So I would hope or like to think that my friends see me as a caring, warm, motherly person. I'm not a mother by any means, and by that I mean with human babies. I do have fur babies, but I don't have human babies. But I feel like I give off that energy, especially to my friends. So that's why I picked the Empress, is because I feel like my friends would know, like, yes, I am actually a very caring person. Even though like I have that RBF going on, like that doesn't mean that I'm not caring, you know what I mean? And I feel like my friends would know this about me. So that's why I got the Empress. Now let's see what we get from the tarot. So since I picked 3 cards out for this response, I'm gonna pick 3 cards out again. Okay, we got a popper right there, so I'm gonna grab that one. I'm not gonna see it until I have the other 2 cards. How my friends see me. Okay, well this one slid off. So I'm gonna pick that one and then one more. All right, so this one is popping out, so I'm gonna grab that one as the last card. And let's see what we got. How my friends see me. So I have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, well this is making me think is great with communication. Especially like I said, if it's, even though I'm not one to approach because like, I just feel like I'm bothering people, so I don't do it. But when I have somebody approach me, I'm pretty much, like I said, talkative, great with communication, great with reading. And by reading, I mean like reading people, reading energies, reading items, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much reading other than books, even though I have a lot of books, but I don't read a lot. Well, you know what I mean. So that's good as far as communication goes. We have the Moon. Now with the Moon, I'm also getting the word mysterious. So my friends see me as somebody mysterious. I wouldn't say like necessarily secretive, because we all have our secrets, or we all have like our privacy, you know what I mean? But I'm getting more like mysterious. Somebody who is also in touch with their intuition, because the Moon does represent intuition as well. Possibly somebody who's a night owl, and yes, I am a night owl. I'm not an early bird, even though night owls technically stay up as early as when the early birds come out. Does that make any sense? Like I can be up till like 5 a.m. and the early birds are barely waking up at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? So mysterious, intuitive, night owl. We have the Two of Wands. And with the Two of Wands, typically what I'm seeing is a path or different roads. But in this case, I'm seeing somebody who knows the path that they want to take, right? So I feel like my friends know and understand that I'm someone who knows what they want to do, that I'm someone who, I guess, knows how to make decisions. And I've mentioned earlier in some other videos where I'm the kind of person who dissects, studies, observes. I just get into the nitty-gritty of things to understand all the sides of a story. And just because, you know, I'm your friend doesn't mean I'm going to take your side. I'm your friend because I'm going to study and observe all sides and then come to a conclusion for either parties. You know what I mean? So I feel like with the Two of Wands, my friends know that I'm going to look at both wands in this case. I'm going to look at both paths and like come to a conclusion. Like I'm one who would study, sometimes overstudy, to be honest. But I feel like that's what I'm getting off of the Two of Wands, where I feel like my friends notice and see that I do look at both sides of the story, or in this case, I look at both wands, I study both paths, and then go from there. Well, that's good. That's not, that wasn't too scary with how my friends see me. Question number 4 is, how would you love to be seen? And for this, I got 2 cards. So the first one I picked out was Temperance. Now, I'd love to be seen as I previously mentioned in the first question, as somebody who likes to see things from different perspectives, as somebody who's open, as somebody who understands that there's a balance with, you know, all things, as somebody who sees both sides of the story or all sides of the story, somebody who wants to bring balance, you know, balance and understanding to many things in our lives. That's why I picked the Temperance. And then the other card that I picked is the Star. Now, why I picked the Star is because I would want to be seen as somebody who's hopeful, or as somebody that you can look towards, not necessarily as a sign of hope. You know what, I probably should have picked the Strength card. But as a sign, well, kind of like hope and strength, I feel like are kind of tied together. But because of like the stuff that I've been through, that especially my friends or my families, I feel like the Star fits well, because I get a lot of them tell me that you give me strength, but you also give me hope that when I've been through stuff, that I can get to where you are, or I can be as hopeful or as strong as you are. Does that make any sense? I feel like I probably should have picked the Strength card, but I was drawn more to the Star card, is to kind of show that there is hope, you know, for similar things that people have been through, that I've been through, that like it does get better. It doesn't stay worse. It does get better. But of course you have to put the work into it, into also wanting to, you know, make things better. So that's why I picked the Star. Now let's ask the tarot. I'm kind of afraid on what the tarot or spirit thinks on how I would love to be seen. So again, because I picked 2 cards, we're gonna pick 2 cards too. All right. I think these are, yeah, so there's 2 cards right here that are popping out. I call poppers. So I'm just gonna take those 2 cards, because I did pull 2 cards for my answer. So we're gonna take 2 from the tarot. Let's see what they are. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. Aw, well, that's nice. That's so pretty. And we have the Ace of Coins. Interesting. How I would love to be seen, I guess with the 10 of Cups, somebody who's well connected with their emotions and intuition, or somebody who's well connected with relationships in general. I don't know. That's what, I mean, you guys tell me, how would you depict this? The 10 of Cups and how I would love to be seen. That's what I'm getting, is somebody who's well aware of their emotions, intuition, has strong connections with their relationships, like the meaningful relationships. And because of that, I'm hearing warmth. And it's not, you know what, it's not the first time that I've been told by people that I give off kind of motherly energy too, which is interesting. Tying it into the 10 of Cups here. So that's what I get from the 10 of Cups. The Ace of Coins is kind of confusing me though. How would you love to be seen? And we got the Ace of Coins. I'm hearing business woman. I mean, I do have like my own side hustles and, you know, little businesses. I have my website, which is for tarot readings, which by the way is always linked in the description. If you ever want a private reading from me, go check it out and book a reading. I do also have 2 Etsys. One is like a crafty Etsy where I sell crafting supplies. And then the other one is tied to my tarot deck or divination items. So like I have my side hustles. I guess the tarot might be saying how I would love others to see me as somebody who's hardworking or a business person. Also somebody who's not afraid to, you know, put themselves out there when it comes to ideas, business ideas, or ideas for passive income. That's what I'm getting. I'm curious about how you guys would depict this, but oh my God, this Ace of Coins is so pretty. Doesn't that look like the eye in the freaking Lord of the Rings on the tower? All right, well now we're on the last question, and this one is who you actually are. So I think I picked 4 cards for this. Originally I had too many, but I don't think we can pick that many. So I have who I actually am, or this is how I see who I actually am. I am someone who has and or suffers from a lot of anxiety, a lot of, I wouldn't say intrusive thoughts, but a lot of, you know, just those kind of emotions. Obviously, I don't show it because it's just things that I keep private or secretly. It's kind of like secretly fighting my own demons, which a lot of us do. But I'm someone that has, my mind just can't shut off. So I have sleeping issues, which is also part of why I am a night owl. I stay up at night, mainly because I can't sleep because I'm thinking of too much stuff. These could be like negative things, these could be positive things, these could be random things. There's just a lot going on up there. But I am very anxious. I do have anxiety. I do have, you know, depression, pretty much all that jazz, all that mumbo jumbo. I just see myself as a very anxious person who has too much on their mind. I also have the Nine of Wands. I see someone who at times was pushed to the point of feeling defeated, but still keeps going. So that's what I get from the Nine of Wands. I'm a fighter. I am a fighter, even though sometimes I feel defeated, but I am a fighter. I will keep pushing through. And from that, I got the Strength card. I am a strong person. Like I said, I'm a fighter. I'm a protector too. I have a big heart, so that's why I pulled the Strength card. And then I also have the Sun card. Now why I picked the Sun card is because I like to look at the brighter side of things. I think I get this from my dad too. If I go through like, I don't know, the worst thing possible that I can think of, there's, for some reason, I find a reason or a way to smile or to still laugh, you know? I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain, but I know for sure I get it from my dad. Where it's like, I mean, the best example I can give you is my dad's funeral. So we were obviously my dad's funeral. We're bawling our eyes out. Me and my sister are sitting next to each other. We're crying. We're bawling our eyes out, right? We're in the moment, obviously. And then we hear like some metal tin can, garbage can. It was a big ass noise too. We hear like some metal garbage can or something fall behind us. And then immediately, when I say immediately, like milliseconds, our attitude, we still have tears in our face, but our attitude changes and we just crack a joke of the noise that we just heard. Like, we're over here, me and my sister are over here saying like, oh, watch this, probably like a person who fainted and was like, catch me Jesus, and they and they knocked over that big ass metal garbage can. So we're over here immediately, milliseconds after freaking bawling our eyes out, we switch on that fact of like, yeah, I feel like shit, but you know what? I could still laugh. I could still smile. Through my tears, I could still laugh. I could still smile. There's nothing wrong with that either. And we get that from our dad because he showed that in a lot of things too growing up. And that's why I picked the Sun, because I look at the brighter side of things, even if I'm at my lowest. Hopefully that makes sense. So that is what I got for question 5, who you actually are. I think I had, I don't know, almost 10 cards, but I'm not about to, I'm not about to pull 10 cards off of my deck to show you guys who I actually am. So I kept it to 4, all right? But now we're gonna ask the tarot or spirit and shuffle and see what we get. I'm kind of afraid, but here we go. So because I picked 4 cards, I'm also going to shuffle out 4 cards. Oh, all right, well that one flipped over. So we're gonna take this one. We need 3 more. All right, this one is popping out, so I'm gonna pick that. Need 2 more. This one is popping out, so I'll take that one. One more. Who am I? Oh my God, of all cards, we got, oh, here, I'll show you, hold on. Of all cards, this card has been following me since I went back into tarot, and it's funny because it's my birth card. Here, I will show you guys. So the first one, of course, the one that flipped was the 10 of Wands. Who am I? I am a person that carries many burdens, and for some reason I choose to carry them alone, but it's what I'm used to, and whatever I'm doing, I guess I'm doing it right because I'm still pulling through, you know? That's what I get with the 10 of Wands. I'm kind of, I know how to manage my burdens, I guess, or I know how to work through them. Hopefully that makes sense. Then the next card, more wands, is the 3 of Wands. Now I heard imagination because when I picture the 3 of Wands, I'm picturing the person looking out into the world, which is bringing me back to like all of the thoughts that I have, and part of that is my imagination. Not necessarily like imagining scenarios that add on to my anxiety, which, you know, is a part of it, but also imagination as far as, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like random stuff, like thinking about alternate universes, thinking about aliens, ghosts, things that are just out of this world is what I'm getting from the 3 of Wands. So I'm somebody who is, you know, open and still has that big imagination about things in general. What? Random thought, but why does this look like a weed leaf? I don't smoke, by the way, but I just thought about that. Oh, interesting. Oh my God, it just connected. It literally just connected. So before I show you guys, so if you guys look up your birth cards, there's actually 2. There's your birth card, and then there's its opposite of it. You have to, there's like certain websites that you can go on to and type in what is your birth card? And you type it in, and then you get it's like your yin and your yang that come out. And of all cards to come out, they are my yin and my yang cards. They're my birth cards. My birth cards came out. So the Devil and the Lovers. The Lovers is my, like, I guess my legit birth card, but the opposite of the Lovers is the Devil. And I just think it's so funny that of all things to come out, when I asked, who am I? My freaking birth cards came out. How random and how rare is that, to be honest, for both of them to come out. Oh my God, this looks so pretty. I love the hollow here. That's so funny. This, honestly, what I'm getting is I am me. This is what I'm getting. If I'm getting my birth cards come out and both of them, I am who I'm supposed to be. I am me. And this is also making me think of the whole balance thing, like what I talked about in another question of like, well, I guess in this case, yin and yang, right? Your opposites, understanding both aspects of it. I don't know how else to explain it, except saying I am me. I am who I'm supposed to be. I am, I guess, on the paths that I'm supposed to be on. This is just so cool. I'm still kind of mind blown that I got both of my birth cards. And I am crying, of course. It's not ugly crying though, at least I hope not. I'm getting boogers though. But I just think it's so funny. And what I mentioned earlier is like, this is the card that keeps following me since I went back into tarot. It was the Lover's card. Ew, I just got my tears on the card. My bad, ignore that. But it was the Lover's card. The Lover's card keeps popping up. It keeps following me, and it is my birth card. And the opposite of my birth card, which is also still my birth card, is the Devil card. But the one that always pops up more than the Devil is the Lover's card for me. Interesting. And like I said, I'm still kind of shocked that I got my birth cards come out when I asked, who am I? I mean, how would you interpret this? If you did this tag and in your, in Spirit's reply to you about asking who you are, did you get your birth cards? If yes, how would you depict it as? Because this just has me mind blown. And like I said, all I can say is I am me. I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know, I just took it as a sign, or I take it as a sign. And I cried. What the hell? Who cries from getting their birth cards for a tarot spread? Apparently I do. All right, well, this was a very interesting tag to do. I think in the beginning of the video, I was like, I'm probably gonna cry, even though I wasn't gonna, I was gonna try not to, but it happened anyways. Oh, if you stuck to this part of the video, leave the diamond. Here, there's a diamond right there. Leave the diamond emoji in the comments down below. That way I know you stuck to this part of the video. Don't forget to like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!